Welcome to the Aegance Offscript Podcast, where we talk to industry leaders who share their stories, insights, and lessons, unfiltered and unscripted. I'm your host, Lawrence, and today I'm joined by Bella Belgarokova, CTO and co-founder of Detekta. Now, Detekta is an AI compliance platform built for GCC financial regulators, and we'll unpack what it really takes to ship zero hallucination compliance, educate a skeptical market, and scale partnerships that actually move revenue. Welcome, Bella. Really excited for this one.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. Thank you for inviting.
Yeah, so I've obviously positioned Detekta. I'd really appreciate if you could provide the viewers with a little bit more context around what it is that you do, what are your areas of operations?
So yeah, Detekta is software as a service, AI as a service that is built up for financial institutions to manage the breach. Right, so we are now in the era of AI, right? And generative AI. What generative AI is doing? Generative AI is giving us the capability to generate text with NAs, right? So this is like the major revolution of generative AI we're living in, right? And obviously, with this shift or revolution that happened like 2 years ago, the software production is changing as well, right? So we are not building huge systems anymore because we are not building huge systems. We are building small systems. We are trying to narrow down the use case of the software we are building because the generative AI is very good in when we in giving results when we reduce context, right? So knowing that capability of generative AI, we are trying to build new type of softwares, right? The softwares that are intent-based softwares. I'm a startup person, right? I'm a technical person, and I joined the tech industry probably 10 years ago when I was in London, and but I wasn't technical at all at the time. I was out of travel industry, luxury travel industry, and I was I wanted to build a startup, right? I wanted to build a startup because it was a boom of startup. London at the time, Google, all that buzz around technical things. And I tried. I said, let's build something in travel, right? But I wasn't technical at all. I didn't know anything about building software. So probably the most used tool was Outlook at the time, like WordPress, Google stuff, and nothing more. And obviously, I tried to search for technical co-founders, but I didn't succeed at all. I went bankruptcy, and it was, it was a lesson probably because it's where you real life example is where when you learn things, right? And so I was thinking at the time, what should I do? Because I really wanted to build something, right? And I find money, or I learned to do it myself. Okay, so I took the path of learning to do how to do software. So this is where it all started. Okay, so I spent 6 years in UK. I worked, I learned. It was a very nice journey. A little bit hard, I would say, because the tech industry is very hard. It's very hard. It's not forgiven. It's you have to push to go through because it's also like a man world. For women to be in the world of driven mainly by men is not that easy. But it was a really nice journey. I learned, I worked, and then I moved to Dubai. Dubai is a place where you should build a business, right? Where you should build a business because it's the base is very good for founders. So it's the government is trying really to do a lot for people who want to succeed to give them the base for doing so. And I obviously when I moved to Dubai, I worked for somebody. Like I spent some time to learn the environment, and then I decided that it was time to go back to build something on my own. In the meantime, I tried to build a software where that would do document generation with legal reasoning, right? So it was a very, very nice experience. It's generative AI is very capable, right? And if you apply correct constraints to it, you can give it you can have a really good outcomes in terms of legal reasoning. I read books about, the language of lawyers. I did a lot of research. And it was a really good base to prepare myself for building Detekta, because, I ended up my previous job, but I had this, luggage of knowledge that I wanted to use somehow. Obviously, I can't build another software that would do something that work as a legal, as a document generation with legal reasoning. But I was thinking like how to apply that knowledge into something meaningful. And this is where I was thinking like, oh, probably compliance is a very good field in terms of these type of softwares, right? And I started to think about it. I started to shape it. Then I joined an accelerator in Oman, and it was its name is Madarik. It's a place where founders can reason about what they want to do and shape the vision of a product. I was joined by. I was introduced because I wanted to build this compliance tool, but compliance is a very broad subject, right? Because it's you can't build the whole compliance layer. First of all, you need resources, then you need the knowledge. And I was thinking, and I was introduced to a person who was in compliance, right? He works now for Google in Qatar, and he said, "Well, listen, why you don't build a breach report generator? Because we are in the region where compliance is becoming stricter and stricter, right? We need tools to react to breaches, because breaches are happening. Then shape it for finance industry. It's an industry that is happy to pay, right? It's an industry that is heavy, that needs to be heavy, that is requires a heavy compliance. They are in in very restricted environments, and that was a click, right? That was a click, and we started to shape it. Probably the base, it took us 2 weeks to shape. Right, because if you think in terms of software, what it is, it's a perfect vertical layer, because now we're building, small vertical layers that are sitting inside larger industry requirements, right? Breach reporting. Breach reporting is generative AI is perfect in generated text, right? So, but what you have to do to make it good, you have to give it enough constraints and knowledge to make it work, right? And yeah, this is where how Detekta was born, right? So, and now we're design. So we shaped how it should be, right? Because it's software is all about specifications, right? And especially now with generative AI, where we are able to use, generative AI capability to generate software as well. Specification is the must. Okay? You have to spend time to reason about what you are doing. Okay, and you have to write it down. Once you have your perfect specification, it's, in no matter of time, you can build your services. And it's now what we are doing. So we are we have everything. We have all our specifications how a detector should look like. Now we are designing it because design or product design is very important field in software engineering because it's where you define your user experience. I'm happy enough to have one of my ex-colleagues who work with me in UK who is helping us, and yeah, it's coming. It's coming to life. Once the designs are ready, it's like we are just going to put it into a computer and make it happen.
What a fascinating story. Oftentimes the challenges that you face yield such positive growth opportunities. And it's clear that you've taken the challenges and, you mentioned the tough work environment that you needed to experience, but you look at where you are now and, the future looks bright for Detekta, and you look back at those tough times and you probably think it was all worth it.
Yeah, well, I think it was a preparation, right? We are always preparing ourselves for something exciting, right? And all my previous experience is the luggage for my current experience. So yeah, it's a lot of lesson learned, and wow, it's happening.
And
Yeah.
Bella, as the CTO and co-founder, what's the non-negotiable that you're optimizing for at Detekta over the next 12 months?
Quality is and precision, because quality is important, and it's a very rare quality, to be honest. I learned it in probably in France because I worked in hospitality industry, in travel industry, and I don't know if you traveled hotels in France. It's very high standard, very demanding, very the precision is like at the maximum, and precision with no madness, but we've love, right? So we've a passion, so we have to make it good, right? And this quality is applicable to should be applied to also how you build your software, because in software engineering we are saying like the software is the reflection of a team. If software is good, that means team is working smoothly, right? If software starts to fall apart, that means it's something is wrong inside the team. So this is why also probably a lot of startups are failing, right? So the quality is, for me, is important. Precision is you have defined your software in minimum details, because reproduce it as you have defined it, because if you have your whole I call them holes, you will reach dead ends, and you would just create a bad user experience, which is not the goal, right? So the goal is to satisfy user, to make it work. But at the same time, we should be flexible and easygoing. So, because you can't you can't be boxed. I don't like boxed people. I don't like being boxed as well. It's you have to be a free spirit. Try to reason about things, make them happen, but also enjoy it.
And what are the metrics that you are tracking that tells you that Detekta is on the right path towards achieving the quality and precision that you mentioned?
Right now, it's my current satisfaction. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit. Well, it's also because we are still not exposing our software to customers, right? But so first of all, I should be happy about what I'm representing, right? And what is the product I'm trying to give to my customers. So this would give me the confidence and ability to talk to my customer and to customers and to explain them what was the reasons behind behind this software, this product, and satisfy customers' requirements. right? So make it easy to generate breach reports, because breach is something that happens, and it's something that puts a company at risk, right? So when a breach happens, it's not only a breach report that you should produce, right? You should do a good amount of steps, but also notify like your stakeholders, notify regulators, notify authorities that something happened, we are dealing with it. Be confident, we will, we will deal with it. And this is my report I'm communicating to you. So report should be very fast, very efficient, and it should protect my customers, because fines are really tough in the industry. So yeah.
And at Detekta, you stress verified, regulator-grounded outputs. What architectural choices make those zero hallucinations credible?
So we can't remove hallucinations, right? But we should always give a human being the knowledge of this could happen, right? So we are trying to we are connecting regulators' requirements, right? It's a lot of text, a lot of a lot of papers, a lot of documents. We are processing it in such a way that it makes you, my customer, as easy as possible to read. So I'm summarizing it, I'm giving it to you, and I'm giving you the reference where I took it from, so you can be confident when the document is generated. It's what it should be, right? But obviously, it's not like, a golden mine. So you should, what human beings should think about, that AI is empowering, but it's not a substitution. Right. So
yeah, that's a very good way to put it. And are there any areas of the model that you're still manually guardrailing? And if yes, are there plans to automate that in the future?
We are reading through everything we are putting into our software, but obviously we can't read everything. So we are there is a layer that should be in place and automated. So it's in there. Guardrails are in there.
And you mentioned regulations a few moments ago. In the UAE, they're now using AI to draft and update laws a lot faster. Does that change your release cadence and roadmaps?
No, because what we are doing, our updates are regular. So if a regulator does an update, that updates will be automatically detected by our systems.
And if we look internally, Bella, at the inner workings of Detekta and how you operate as a company, are there any processes that you've implemented that have yielded a really interesting and positive upside for you?
I think everything is pretty standard, right? So it's a very small team, right? I'm supervising the software engineering. There is a guy that is doing the designs. Lisa is doing the business side. It's everything very we're still small, and we are still trusting ourselves. So we are just taking it easy and trying to push for maximum. Obviously, once the team starts to grow, it's we should put processes in place. But I'm not a processes person, so I know it's you should have some kind of process, because it might become wild. But it's like trying to be human, right? And trying to deliver as much as you can. So being nothing really special about, you should do X, Y, Z to accomplish something.
Yeah. I can appreciate that you're not a processes type person. I can understand where that's coming from. On the flip side of my question around processes and systems that are working, are there any areas, processes or systems related that currently cause friction or cause a little bit of pain for the team?
Well, right now I'm fighting with cloud systems, and it's we should choose a space where the software will be running, and obviously we are still in bootstrap phase. So I have to deal with costs as well, right? So we should keep them as low as possible. So for me, it was also like I spent 2 days. Trying to decide, where the which cloud infrastructure to use, and it was, it was not that quick enough, because right now in, the time of software development, like reduced completely. I remember when I was I was thinking about it recently. A system I have built now, being a very small team, took us probably a month, right? But this type of system, when I was working in UK, it took us 12 months. But a whole team of people, right? It's not like it was product managers, probably 6 backend engineers, 3 front-end engineers, like 10 testers, and we don't have it anymore. We don't have that anymore. So we don't have time. For me, going and trying to get a server and spending on that 2 days, it's already something is wrong in there. It should be very like smooth. So it should not take me that long. So cloud infrastructure. What else? But nothing. Probably that's all. That's all. Everything is pretty smooth.
That's certainly good to hear. Bella, where would you say GCC businesses are in terms of practical AI adoption?
Well, I was thinking about it. So businesses are very slow. It's like in UAE we have the context where the government is probably one of the most advanced governments I have seen in my life. I lived in different countries, and government here is very smooth. They have like virtual lawyer. They try to adapt the AI. They're saying like, oh, we should become AI driven. AI-driven country, right? It should, because AI is helping a lot, and we should, embrace it. But on the other side, you have businesses that are still, behind. So probably, I don't know what is the reason. Probably an upskill needs to be done, and we should, companies should really try to gain the knowledge, because the issue is the lack of knowledge, right? So businesses, they need a push. They need a push, and also when we are trying to explain, Detekta to a larger audience, because we took part of a show, right? A show we recorded that was recorded in during summertime. It will come probably to TV in October, next month, and it's a pitch, the final pitch show. What we noticed that the understanding of how this tool can help businesses is still very, very low, right? So, and we have, we have to go and to explain why it's a help, right? So, in my opinion, businesses, they need to be pushed. Otherwise, they will be behind.
Yeah, and in terms of the knowledge gap or the education gap that you've mentioned, do you find that at Detekta you need to put extra effort into trying to bridge that gap?
Yeah, it's because finance world is still running like here in UK. Oh no, sorry, here in UAE. I mean, we are still seeing financial institutions working as probably 10 years ago in UK. So they need smoother processes. They need to be more automated, but also they need to be more risk aware. Because it's still I deal with banks, in my day-to-day life, and I can see a lot of gaps. A lot of gaps that need to be closed, and obviously the level of of knowledge needs to be lifted.
And Bella, if we turn our attention to sourcing new clients and your go-to-market strategy at Detekta, where are most of your quality or most of your qualified leads coming from right now? Is it referrals? Is it partner channels? Is it your founder-led outbound efforts?
Well, UAE is going by connections, right? UAE, Middle East, it's a lot about I know who you know and in which circles are you in. So this is one strategy, and another strategy is obviously the most obvious one. LinkedIn is still good. I'm not a fan of it because I think it's they took a monopoly, and when you have a monopolist, obviously it's not developing. It's not help. It tries to drive a market, and I'm not a fan of it, but it's still a good tool to reach out to people. So it's word of mouth. Try to enter certain circles, right, of people, and taking part of events, doing podcasts, doing shows, and tell people, we exist.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we drill into your outbound efforts via LinkedIn, as you say, I assume you're also doing some email outbound campaigns, just trying to knock on as many doors as possible. Are there any friction points there? Are you struggling to get those doors opened?
Yes and no. I always think it depends how you try to knock the door, right? If you are too shy, nobody will open, right? But I don't like email campaigning because I can see it's very annoying. I do receive a lot of emails and they do not make really a lot of sense in my day-to-day life. So it's really try to find the right people in the room and go in right events and just go to right where my potential customer is, right? So this is events where specialized events for the industry where compliance or lawyers or company leaders are because it should be taken from the top. And it should go to only when you try to explain it to management, then you can enter with your tool to an enterprise, right?
And we touched on partnerships very briefly. I'm quite interested to understand at Detekta, are you open to partnerships? Do you have any partnership relationships that are currently active?
I think it's essential partnerships, right? Because it's I give it to you and you give it to me, right? And right now we don't have any direct partnership because we didn't start to push in that direction. But I think it would be essential, right? Because it's good. It's good to be,
And just out of interest, what sorts of partnerships would you be looking for?
Strategic partnerships, but what would be the strategy, right? I need to think about it. What because I don't have an answer right now.
That's completely fine. If But if we again we have a look at the inner workings of Detekta, but this time focusing on the team dynamics.
Yeah.
What is I can appreciate that it's still a small team, but assumedly you have aspirations to grow your commercial footprint and work markets that fall outside of your time zones. What do you foresee is going to be a challenge in terms of balancing growth with company culture and being able to engage with your team members who sit 6 hours ahead or 6 hours behind, for example?
Well, I had thoughts about it. My current worry is how to find the right talents, because during my career I worked with a lot of people, and I can see that it's highly qualified talents is a rarity. It's really a rarity, and especially in terms of software engineering, because I'm thinking like, oh, where should I go? Because I tried to hire 3 people during summertime, juniors, the famous Generation Z. It wasn't successful. I don't know. It's the Generation Z. Well, in my experience, because generalization probably is not a good thing, but they need to be spoon-feeded. And, when you grow a company, having a team that you need to spoon-feed for every decision is a challenge, right? So what I'm thinking in terms of hiring or, where to find, right people. Because in a company you have to I don't like to do everything myself, right? Where we should spread the responsibility should be spread across the team, right? And every team member should be responsible of taking decisions, right? Because we every day, every minute, we take decisions, right? And having in a team people you have to spoon feed for every decision is a pain for me. So this is why I'm thinking like where to find right people, but also like what the right should be, right? Because we should define, right? When the team starts to become big, it's a challenge. And I don't know, it's probably going by good feeling and some like trying to understand, trying to see what is what is the exchange between the team members and the founders.
Yeah, I can appreciate that it's a challenge to find the right talent and to integrate that into the company culture. Are there any particular traits that you are screening for in your interview processes? Anything that is a must-have?
Cognitive thinking. I'm a little bit probably old style, and I need people who reason. I need people who challenge, right? But also I need people who are flexible enough, because you have like a team member who is, oh no, we have to do in this way without, trying to look left or right or trying to find it's a blocker. When you have like, I remember I read a book. So you have blockers, you have people who don't care, then you have pushers, right? So it's I don't I want pushers. Probably I want people who think, who reason, but also like curious enough to explore the world, because thinking always inside the box is not nice. It's not it's not cool.
Yeah, it's certainly a real challenge, and hopefully as you expand you find the right people to join the team that are able to think outside the box, be agile enough, but obviously then still stay within the confines is maybe not the right word, but within the guardrails of the Detekta culture and environment.
Yeah, but also, I was thinking like now, high thinkers, they think that we will see like billion-dollar companies built by very, very small teams.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should look in that direction, but we obviously to be able to put such a structure, we have to master AI tools in perfection. So we can, build our workers like AI workers that would, help us to grow. But still, human beings should be at the source.
But if we turn our attention very briefly to RFPs, if I
Yeah.
paint a picture for you in the near future, let's say an AI buyer agent is scoring RFPs, what would Detekta need to expose in order to win in the M2M procurement environment? Is it APIs? Is it proofs? What's paramount?
Well, we are going towards machine to machine, right? On the other side, there will be a machine that will output an RFP, right? And on my side, I should have a machine that would try to satisfy that RFP, right? So it should. We are going towards machine-to-machine communication, right? And in terms of RFPs, is really there will be no fluff. It will be it will be direct. Like if you require XYZ, I should offer XYZ and I should offer it for a reasonable price. And machine will define what is very reasonable price because machine will be operating in a market of machines. Right. And there is a very interesting book. I think the author, he is a researcher, and when machine becomes customers, the name is of a book. Suggest you to read it. And this is the direction we are going to. Like right now we are attaching MCPs, right? Like the protocol of communication between machines for businesses. And right now it's a communication between softwares, right? Like we are, as a software engineer, we are trying to, communicate with our machines with this protocol, right? But this will become part of a business. So me as a shop, I will try to communicate to my customer avatar, and my customer avatar would already know, what are my desires, what are my needs, what is my budget, and this shop AI would try to satisfy my needs, right? And me as a human being, I will spend a lot less in terms of trying to take decisions what to buy. Right, so this will be a market of machines communicated between them, trying to satisfy a human being.
And do you think there are any potential legal, intellectual property or hallucination IPs that could surface in those flows in the future?
Yeah, well, obviously, because we are not perfect, right? We are human beings, so building machines. But we should be just aware of it. It should not be, oh, this is the 100% truth. We should, this is where the cognitive thinking comes in, right? You should be able to think and reason about what a machine is saying, right? And say it's right or wrong.
But if we take a step back and we look at Detekta from a macro level in terms of the company, what is working really well at the moment for you?
A small team, smooth decisions, very holistic, very flexible, and trying to find our paths, being flexible. Yeah.
And on the flip side of that question, what isn't working well? Where are you seeing the frictions of the company?
Growth. We have to, small teams face, there is a lot of things to do. So we have to balance between what to do now and what to do next and what not to do.
If I could give you one operations engineer or one demand lead generation resource, which one do you think would unlock more revenue for you?
Probably right now, lead generation resource.
But as we close out the conversation, what's next for Detekta? What does the next 12 to 24 months look like for you?
Like conquering the GCC market. And because right now in Detekta we are building only the really small layer, vertical rail layer for breach report generations, right? But obviously this layer would take us probably few months to be built and to perfection it, but then we have to think about where to go next, right? What Detekta should become. Should it become like a place to go for compliance, right? Or should I am a company and I need to be compliant. What should I do? So you should do X, Y, Z, and Detekta can do it. Can let you understand it in few words what needs to do to generate your workflow and actually do build a workflow and execute that workflow for you, right? Or should we become like an incident management layer, right? So it's incident management layer is you are a company. I know what in your company is going on because I have a source of your operations, right? And I can predict your risk level, right? I can predict what is going on. I can really become an intelligent layer in terms of incident management, right? And prevention, because we should think about preventing an incident because it costs less than curate, right? So I'm thinking about going towards becoming a compliance layer instead, and being this compliance layer, going to regulator and say, okay, we built this effective compliance layer that could become a de facto, for to let companies be compliant, to allow companies to be compliant, and then they can embrace it and promote it for us. That would be probably the perfect solution.
It sounds like some strategic decisions need to be made in terms of the direction that Detekta is going. I like the goal of conquering the GCC markets in the next 24 months. What do you feel needs to fall into place in order for you to do that?
Execution. Once you have a tool that solves the customer's problems, it's easy, because you are solving problems. And financial institutions, they have money to spend on effective tools, right? And if we solve their headache, their problems, we are, it's a win for us.
And Bella, if our viewers and our listeners want to get hold of Detekta, where is the best place for them to do that?
LinkedIn or direct emailing.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast. It certainly has been a fascinating conversation. I've certainly learned a lot. Appreciate your time, and I wish you and the team at Detekta all the best as you look to conquer the GCC market.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. Thank you for having me, and thank you for this conversation. It was really nice.
Thanks, everyone.